The studio lights dimmed slightly as the audience settled in for another episode of The View, the air buzzing with anticipation. Joy Behar, the sharp-tongued veteran co-host, took her seat at the iconic round table, her red hair perfectly styled and her signature glasses perched on her nose. She exchanged quick pleasantries with her fellow hosts, Whoopi Goldberg moderating with her usual calm demeanor, while Sunny Hostin and Sarah Haynes added their vibrant energy. The guest for the day was comedian Leanne Morgan, known for her southern charm and hilarious takes on everyday life. As the show kicked off, the conversation flowed smoothly through current events, politics, and pop culture. Joy jumped in with her witty remarks, defending her liberal views passionately. Leanne, with her warm smile and twangy accent, shared stories from her stand-up routines, making the audience laugh heartily. But as the segment progressed, Leanne began to playfully tease the hosts, starting light but gradually honing in on Joy. She joked about Joy's outspoken nature, comparing her to a feisty aunt at a family reunion who always has the last word. The crowd chuckled, but Joy's smile tightened just a bit. Leanne didn't stop there. She ramped up the roast, poking fun at Joy's age and her long tenure on the show, saying something like, "Joy, you've been here so long, you probably remember when The View was just a window." The laughter grew louder, and Joy fired back with a quip. But Leanne was on a roll. She mimicked Joy's New York accent, exaggerating her gestures, which had the audience in stitches. Joy laughed along at first, but her expression shifted as Leanne delved deeper, touching on Joy's political rants and how she sometimes dominates conversations. "Joy, darling, you're like a bull in a china shop of opinions. Everything gets shattered," Leanne exclaimed, and the other hosts giggled nervously. The segment was meant to be fun, but the roast was hitting close to home. Joy's face flushed, and she adjusted her glasses, trying to maintain composure. The commercial break couldn't come soon enough, but when it did, the tension lingered in the air like a thick fog. Back from break, the conversation attempted to pivot, but Leanne threw in one more zinger about Joy's fashion choices, calling her outfit vintage protest chic. That seemed to be the tipping point. Joy's eyes narrowed, and she interrupted sharply, her voice rising above the chatter. The live broadcast continued, but the atmosphere had shifted palpably. Joy Behar, usually the queen of comebacks, seemed uncharacteristically rattled by Leanne Morgan's relentless roasting. The comedian, sensing the crowd's enjoyment, kept the jabs coming, each one more pointed than the last. She joked about Joy's memoir, suggesting it was less a book and more a collection of rants she'd recycled from the show. "Honey, if I wanted to read about your views, I'd just watch reruns," Leanne drawled, eliciting gasps and guffaws from the audience. Whoopi tried to steer the ship, interjecting with her gravelly voice to lighten the mood, but Joy wasn't having it. She leaned forward, her finger pointing accusatorily at Leanne. "You think you're funny? Coming on here and mocking me like that? I've been in this business longer than you've been telling your little southern stories." The exchange heated up, turning what was supposed to be a light-hearted guest spot into a full-blown confrontation. Leanne, unfazed, responded with another quip. "Oh, Joy, bless your heart, you know that's southern for you're full of it." The audience erupted, some cheering, others murmuring in surprise. Sunny and Sarah exchanged wide-eyed glances, unsure how to intervene. Joy's frustration boiled over. She slammed her hand on the table, causing microphones to rattle. "This is ridiculous. I'm not sitting here to be your punchline," she declared, her voice echoing through the studio. The producers in the control room scrambled, signaling for another break, but Joy was already standing up. She removed her earpiece dramatically, tossing it onto the table with a clatter. "You know what? I'm done. I've put up with enough over the years, but this is the last straw." The camera captured every moment. The live feed showing Joy storming off the set, her heels clicking angrily against the floor. The remaining hosts sat in stunned silence for a beat, then Whoopi composed herself. "Well, folks, that was unexpected. We'll be right back after this." The screen faded to commercials. But the buzz was just beginning. Social media exploded instantly, with hashtags like #JoyQuitsTheView trending worldwide. Viewers at home replayed the moment, debating if it was scripted or genuine. Leanne, still seated, looked a mix of amused and apologetic. shrugging to the camera as if to say, "What just happened?" As the commercial break ended, the camera panned back to the set of The View, now missing one key player. Joy Behar's chair sat empty, a stark reminder of the dramatic exit that had just unfolded live on air. Whoopi Goldberg, ever the professional, addressed the audience with a wry smile. "All right, everyone, let's take a breath." Joy had to step away for a moment. "But we're going to continue the show." Leanne Morgan, the instigator of the chaos, tried to diffuse the situation with more humor, but it fell flat without Joy there to spar with. "I guess I roasted a little too hard. I hope she's okay," Leanne said, but her laugh sounded forced. Sunny Hostin jumped in, analyzing the moment like the lawyer she is. "This is what makes our show real. Passions run high, and sometimes things get intense." Sarah Haynes nodded vigorously, adding, "Joy's tough. She'll be back." But backstage, things were far from calm. Producers rushed to Joy's dressing room, knocking urgently on the door. Inside, Joy paced furiously, her phone already blowing up with messages from friends and family. That woman crossed the line. She vented to her assistant. "I've dealt with critics, politicians, even presidents, but being humiliated like that on my own show? No way." Rumors swirled among the crew. Was this Joy's final straw after years of on-air clashes and behind-the-scenes drama? The show trudged on, discussing lighter topics like celebrity gossip and fashion trends, but the energy was off. Audience members whispered among themselves, some pulling out their phones to tweet about the spectacle. Leanne wrapped up her segment awkwardly, promoting her upcoming tour with a subdued enthusiasm. As she left the stage, she waved to the crowd, but the applause was polite rather than thunderous. The final segments felt rushed, with Whoopi wrapping up earlier than usual. "Thanks for joining us today. It's been eventful. See you tomorrow." The credits rolled, but the story was far from over. News outlets picked up the clip immediately, with headlines screaming about Joy's potential departure. Fans divided. Some sided with Joy, calling Leanne's roast mean-spirited, while others praised the comedian for her bold humor. Joy, meanwhile, retreated to her home, ignoring calls from ABC executives pleading for her return. In the hours following the broadcast, the internet went into overdrive, dissecting every second of Joy Behar's dramatic quit on The View. Clips of Leanne Morgan's roast circulated like wildfire on platforms like TikTok and YouTube, amassing millions of views. Comment sections filled with opinions. Leanne slayed versus poor Joy, that was too much. Celebrity friends Wade and Rosie O'Donnell, a former co-host, tweeted her support for Joy, saying, "We've all been there. Sometimes you just have to walk." Leanne, for her part, issued a half apology on her Instagram. "Didn't mean to ruffle feathers that hard, Joy. You're a legend. I hope we can laugh about this someday." But Joy remained silent, fueling speculation about her future on the show. ABC released a statement. "Joy is a valued member of the View family. We're giving her space and look forward to her return." Behind closed doors, however, negotiations were tense. Joy met with producers, demanding changes like guest vetting and more control over segments. "If I come back, no more ambush roasts," she reportedly said. The incident sparked broader discussions about live TV dynamics, with pundits debating the line between humor and bullying. Late-night hosts like Jimmy Fallon and Stephen Colbert poked fun at the drama in their monologues, reenacting the roast with exaggerated accents. Fans started petitions both for Joy to stay and for Leanne to guest again. The View's ratings skyrocketed, turning a potential crisis into a publicity boon. Joy, ever the fighter, began hinting at her side of the story through anonymous sources. It wasn't just the roast, it was years of feeling undervalued. Leanne's career, meanwhile, got a boost. Her tour tickets sold out as people wanted to see the comedian who took down Joy Behar. The saga became a cultural moment, inspiring memes and think pieces about women in media and ageism in entertainment. As days passed, whispers emerged that Joy might not return, eyeing retirement or a solo project. The empty chair on the next episode symbolized the uncertainty, with guest hosts filling in awkwardly. Weeks turned into a media frenzy as Joy Behar's absence from The View stretched on, leaving viewers wondering if her quit was permanent. The show carried on with rotating co-hosts, but the chemistry was noticeably altered without Joy's biting commentary. Whoopi Goldberg addressed the elephant in the room occasionally. "We miss Joy and hope she'll be back soon." Leanne Morgan, riding the wave of notoriety, appeared on other talk shows to recount the incident, always with a chuckle. "It was all in good fun. Joy's a pro. She'll bounce back." But Joy broke her silence in a bombshell interview with a rival network, detailing how the roast felt personal and disrespectful. "I've roasted presidents, but when it's turned on you without warning, it's different," she said, her eyes flashing with that familiar fire. The interview went viral, shifting public sympathy toward Joy. ABC executives scrambled, offering her a sweetened contract with more vacation time and input on guests. Leanne faced backlash from Joy's fans, with some boycotting her specials, but she gained new followers who appreciated her unfiltered style. The incident highlighted tensions on long-running shows, with former staffers leaking stories of past feuds. Joy used the time off to recharge, vacationing with family and teasing a new book about her experiences. Social media campaigns urged reconciliation, with fans suggesting a rematch episode. Eventually, rumors of Joy's return circulated, confirmed when she posted a cryptic tweet, "Not done yet, stay tuned." The anticipation built for her comeback episode, promoted heavily by the network. Leanne sent a peace offering, a basket of southern treats with a note saying, "No hard feelings, sugar." Joy accepted it publicly, hinting at forgiveness. The drama evolved into a narrative of resilience, with Joy emerging stronger. Analysts noted how such moments keep daytime TV relevant in the streaming era. The View's producers learned a lesson about boundaries and humor, implementing new guidelines for guest interactions. Finally, the day arrived when Joy Behar made her triumphant return to The View, the studio audience erupting in applause as she walked on set. "I'm back, babies," she announced, hugging her co-hosts amid cheers. The episode dedicated a segment to addressing the quit, with Joy explaining her side. "That roast got under my skin, but I've got thick skin, thicker than Leanne's accent." Laughter filled the air, signaling healing. Leanne Morgan appeared via video link, and the two shared a light-hearted exchange, burying the hatchet with mutual respect. "You're a tough cookie, Joy." "Respect," Leanne said. The show moved forward, stronger for the controversy, with higher ratings and renewed buzz. Joy's experience inspired her to advocate for mental health breaks in high-pressure jobs, turning personal turmoil into a positive message. Leanne's career flourished, booking more gigs and even a Netflix special. The incident became legendary in TV lore, referenced in pop culture as the roast that rocked The View. Fans reflected on how imagination shapes our perceptions of what started as a brutal jest evolved into a story of comeback and camaraderie. In the end, it reminded everyone that live TV is unpredictable, full of human moments that connect us all. Joy settled back into her role, her voice as vibrant as ever, proving she's irreplaceable. The View continued to spark debates, entertain, and occasionally explode, all shaped by the imagination of its hosts and guests.